Hi everyone, it's Tammy at the Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back. Today we're going to do another make in the I Saw It on Pinterest series. Excuse me. I do have a blog or a playlist on my channel that has all the previous makes if you'd like to go back and see any of the others that I have done. Today I am going to do a version of this kind of steampunk looking tag by Blog Lovin'. I did notice that if you visit, you have to subscribe, and I'm not going to do that. But it looks like that it's Angelica S. was the creator of this particular tag, and so we want to be sure and give her credit. And I've done quite a bit of prep work on this one because the prep work took a lot of time, and I didn't want to bog you guys down with a lot of the things that had to happen here to make this tag come together, but I will explain to you what I did. So let's get started and see what we can come up with. I like everything about this tag except I feel like the cogs in the background and all the different pieces are too much the same color. So I'm going to be changing that up a little bit from the original. And of course my flower won't be the exact same. My cogs won't be the exact same. And I have a different photo obviously. But we're going to see what we can do to recreate this and make it my own. So the first thing that I did was took a piece of it's a cardboard box, and I made a tag out of it. And I just, cut it out and did the angles and put a hole in it. And you can see it's pretty dimensional. Now, if you're worried about it being this dimensional, you can take this and run it through your Big Shot, and it will flatten it out a lot. I didn't in this particular case, but that does work to make it flatter, but you still have the sense of it being corrugated. I think I'm going to glue that. That's kind of where the two pieces of the cardboard and the back piece have separated where I cut it. So I think I'm going to run some glue right down there. If I can get my glue to work. Just because I don't like that that's flopping around. So I'm just going to kind of press that together. On that side. I'm going to do it on this side as well. I just think that'll make it a little bit easier to get it in and out of the pocket that you put it in, or however you do it. And then I'm going to trim that. like, where's my scissors? I covered it up with my iPad. Just kind of trim that off, maybe. Just want to move on me. There we go. Okay, so there is my tag, and I want to ink it. So I'm going to, and you know, I'm actually gonna take this thing and flatten this out a little bit. Just to kind of give me a flatter surface to glue on. Okay, so I'm going to take scorched timber, I think, and go around the edges and make those fairly dark. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a good weekend. I'm filming this on Sunday to finally get caught up with this week's videos. Me not feeling well a couple of days really got me behind. But I think this will catch me totally back up to where I need to be. So I can start the week where I need to be. Now I'm going to take walnut stain and I'm going to go across kind of the whole tag. Make it good and grungy. And then I'm also going to take Vintage Photo. Let me get my Vintage Photo little thing here. And I might give it a little squirt with some water and dry that off and see if I can get a little bit of a reaction. Let's take the heat tool, dry that. I need it to be dry before I put the other elements on. want to, I think I want to do some splatters, but I just want them on the background. I don't want them on my cogs or anything. Excuse me while I get my gesso. See if I can put a little bit of white in here without getting that black mixed in. And I know I'm going to get this everywhere. I'm wondering if I want to do like some, let me grab something else. I think I might want to do this is burnt sienna. I think I might want a little bit of this. That's more than I wanted, but we'll make it work. I think that black that's in there is gesso, so I don't think it's going to move with the water anymore. Hit it with that and probably work better. Every time I do this, and I think I'm being fairly neat with it, I end up with it on my glasses and everywhere else. So, yeah. How do we like that? I like that. I'm wondering, do I want to also do, see, this is where I go off on a tangent from what I'm making, from what I'm using as my reference. but I feel like I want a little bit of patina going on. So I think I'm going to get my peacock feather. Alright, I want you to just sit there for a minute. Crayon. Oh. See what I'm saying about the mess? I want this to kind of look like rusty metal. Using my finger tool. Putting just a little bit of water on there. I really like this. Let me do... kind of do this around the edges. I already have grubby hands from doing the cogs, so I'm not too worried about that I'm getting it all over me. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So I'm going to spray my brush here and wrap it up until I can wash it. I use this brush just for splatters, so I don't care that it gets a little bit stiff because it actually makes better splatters if it is stiff. Okay, I need to get a fresh wipe so I don't get any of this on my hands onto my project. And then we're going to dry that and we'll be able to put our elements on. See, just that little background has caused a mess. Okay. I can't be trusted with mixed media, people. Not without making a mess, anyway. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, now we can start putting our elements on there. straighten that back out. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is put a reinforcer on there. And this was just cut out of manila file folder using my reinforcer punch. And then it was sprayed like the rest of the cogs. Now, when I sprayed the cogs or the gears, I used walnut stain. I used what else did I use? Peacock feathers, and I used orange marmalade. And then I used one of the mica stains, mica sprays, and I think it's called antique bronze. And that's how I got the color for my cogs. This one I hand cut because I didn't have a big one. I had a big metal one, but I felt that would be too heavy for the tag. So I traced around the metal one I had and then cut it out and poked a hole and found a picture to fit inside. And then these cogs are all cut out of the pocket watch die cut by Tim Holtz. So that's what all those are. And I want it this way, I think. And then I used one of my flower punches. This is 49 in Market, these leaves. Let me poke that white part out there. Come out of there. Well, that so does not want to come loose. Come loose. There we go. One more piece. All right. And then my flower I punched out two sizes of flower punches that I have and put them together. Now this cog is a metal one, and then this is one of Tim's, just the tops, screw tops that I put on there. So we're going to have something like this. But I guess first what I need to do is put the grommets in each of the corners. And put my little tag on there. And then I have my little piece of ball and chain to go in the top. So let's do the grommets first. Just so it'll be easier to get everything all put in there without all those embellishments on there. Set our little guide so we're getting them in the right or the same spot on the top and bottom. See, I don't know that I want it to go here or if I want it to go there, or if I want it to go right on that. I think I'll put it right on that first little crinkle. Is that what you call that, a crinkle? Sorry guys, I'm going to try my best not to cough in your ear. Alright, so, sorry, still fighting it a little bit. I've got a scratchy throat. Okay, so we're going to put that in there. Oops, I need to put my tag in there before I put that one in. Hope I can get this tag in there. It's got a really little bitty hole. And I'm afraid if I make it any bigger, that it's going to rip the whole thing out. Let me measure it here for a minute. Hold it under there. I keep having to clean my little hole out. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid was going to happen, that it was going to bust that. But, can I still make it hold? We're going to try it. We may have to come up with another solution for that, a bigger tag or something. Something. Fiddly. Very fiddly. Okay, I just need you to kind of wrap around there. Alright. I need to cut this one little piece off. Like I said, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll just make another one. Or we'll hang the tag from the ball and chain. get in there now. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I'll put a piece of glue. I'll put some glue up under it just in case, but I think it's gonna hold it. It's a little bit tougher to put these through that corrugated. You stick some glue under there just so I don't lose it in the meantime. I think it's gonna stay, but we'll just make sure it's gonna stay. There's two. Three. And four. Okay. You can see there's a cut from the box cutter right there, but I'm not going to worry about that because by the time I get all these other embellishments on there, you're not going to be able to see that anyway. Alright, so we want this lady. Kind of off the edge. And about right there. And I will have to figure out how to ink the back of this or something where it's going to be hanging off. The rest of the cogs I did front and back, but on this one I did not, and I should have. I didn't think about it being hanging over, but I think I could just probably ink it and it'd be alright. Either that or I can put another couple of small cogs, which may be what I do, just to kind of tie it together. Oh, that don't go in there. That goes on there. Alright, so then we want this one about right there. Oops. And I just layered up 3 or 4 together. With kind of alternating patterns and colors, just so everything wouldn't be so monochrome. And then We'll glue down our leaves. Or monochromatic, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. And our flower. Making sure I'm pressing down on everything since we have the corrugated. I want to make sure I'm getting good glue contact. Alright, now for the back, I have some extra little pieces that I could put on here, but I need to ink. So let's ink it first. Do we want to cover the back? It wouldn't hurt that back to be a little bit more sturdy, and it would also cover up all the other little hardware. So maybe we'll put some cardstock. Let's see what I got. Or we could use the Tim Holtz cardstock. This, that would look pretty cool. Like that part of it. Let's do that. So I'm going to glue that down. Wait. Be sure and glue it on this side. Yeah, I'm going to do it here. That's going to cause me to cut around that. Let's see if I can get around it. Yeah, that makes the tag a whole lot more sturdy than it was. Okay, so let's put the hole back in the top. And then I've got another reinforcer we can put on the back. And then I can kind of camouflage that with these. That with these. Did you get that? And camouflage the back of the big cog with these small ones. Make it look a little better. Last one. There we go. That makes that look a lot more finished, doesn't it? And I'm not going to worry about those leaves. They're green on the back, so they're not really causing me any kind of anxiety. And then we'll put our ball and chain in here. And that's it. How cute is that? I really like it, and I like the addition of the peacock feathers. Sorry, I'm trying my best to not cough. Peacock feathers crayon on there. I'm just going to flip these little flower petals up a little bit to give it some dimension. Kind of crinkle and grunge them up. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Really happy with it. Let me know what you guys think. Just kind of ink the back of those a little bit. Yeah, cute, cute. All right, so that is this week's make. Again, let me know what you think about it. And I'm already thinking, oh, I could do this, so I could do this. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. So that's it for today, and I will see you guys back tomorrow. For we're about to finish up on the ABC April 2025. We have X, Y, and Z left. Worst ones. Of course, I already know what I'm doing for Z, so I'm not worried about that one. But we'll have to see what we're going to do with the others. So, thanks for joining me. And I will see you guys back tomorrow. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.